Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Friday, August 30th, 2024, pre-market report. Lots of stuff going on here. But before we get there, I want to do this. Yesterday, during my live stream, I was asked a specific question. My response was somewhat inappropriate. That question I was asked was, Greg, what is constitutional money? I frankly got very upset over that question. I was given an opportunity to explain what it is. I found it very disturbing. And I shouldn't have. Honestly, I should have expected something like this. Today, people have no idea. Not you. I'm not referring to you specifically, but generally, people have no clue as to what's going on, why things are happening to them the way that they are. Meanwhile, we're being told how great we are, we're rich, we're fantastic, we're the envy of the world. People don't understand it. They don't know how to deal with the situation. And with regard to our education system, I think this is clearly an example of how it has failed. So with regard to the question, what is constitutional money? I should have just answered the question. Instead, I got upset because I found it almost too much to deal with at that point. But constitutional money is gold and silver. It says in the Constitution these are legal tender. Doesn't mention central bank issued notes, fiat currency, cryptocurrency. It says specifically gold and silver. I should have said that. Instead, what I do, I got upset. I really just couldn't believe the question, but I should have expected it, as I said. And for that person that did ask that question, if I did come off the wrong way, well, I guess I apologize. All right, it was wrong of me to react like that. People, look, let's talk a little bit more. Let me say this. The fact remains, there is no connection between reality and this current environment we are in at all whatsoever here. We have no market. We have an economy worldwide that is not run by presidents, kings, queens, dictators, monarchs, or even we the people. It's run by a specific entity, and that is the central banks of the world. They control monetary policy. They control the financial system. They control the financial markets, and they control the flow of information. Henceforth, why? People don't know what constitutional money is. You understand? That should really be a wake-up call. And I should thank that person for asking that question, because it allowed me to realize how desperate things actually are. That people have no ability to understand what's happening to them because they don't know the system. It's a terrible thing, but it shouldn't surprise anyone. This is why there is no accountability today. Politicians, no accountability. The media outlets. Do you know there was a time, believe it or not, when the media outlets were held to account by we the people? When they would put out a story that's just factually inaccurate, they would call themselves out too. Today, that's not like that at all. It's just a psyop. It's a mind screw where people they're not allowed to know what's happening to them or why. So you can't blame someone for asking a question like, what is constitutional money? When people hear someone like a former Fed chairperson, Ben Bernanke, say, well, gold is not real money, even though it says in the Constitution it is real money. Okay, he says central banks hold this for tradition, and central banks today, what are they doing? What are central banks doing right now? Look this up for yourselves. They're hoarding gold more so than they ever have before, at least in the last 5 years. They're betting against the same system that they're forcing us to participate in. I want you to think about that. That's what you and I have been doing since day one, betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks. The fact of the matter is this system is coming apart very, very rapidly. Now let's just go talk about some information that we got today. So the Fed's favorite inflation indicator, personal consumption expenditures, it increased. Is this a good thing? First of all, this is no mistake. You believe that's real? None of us do. But again, there was no temporary, there was no transitory or anything else. This was, again, going back to accountability. There is none anymore. They can get away with whatever they want to. Now, this is interesting. So playing right off of this, that according to the Fed's favorite indicator, inflation continues to rise. How's this headline for you? PCE inflation holds steady. It's holding steady? How about it increased? But it's holding steady according to, what was this? This is Market Watch, I believe. In July, and consumer spending is solid. Okay, let's decipher this. Inflation continues to rise. People are being forced to spend more. Duh. Does that sound about right to you, people? Make it up. Make any of this stuff up. It's impossible to do. Let me say this just real quick, people. And I really want you to think about what I'm about to say. If we do not return to constitutional money, you already know what it is. I told you what this is, in case you're curious. It's gold and silver. Period. Again, it's not central bank issued notes. It's not fiat currency. It's not cryptocurrency. If we do not return to a sound money system, a commodity-backed system, that's a wealth-based system, we can never go back. They will never allow us to go back. You have to understand that. A central bank's power resides in their ability to keep us locked into this debt-based system. It's the same system that's used around this entire world by so-called developed nations around the world. And their world leaders are backing this system, just like here in the United States. What are we hearing over and over out of the mouth of Kamala and Trump? The same thing, the same thing. We promise you lower rates. How does that help you? It doesn't. They're pushing trickle-down economics. Lower rates means a weaker dollar, means higher inflation. We can't escape this, people. But we have the power to take it back. We have the power. We, the people, have the power to take down the system. If it comes down to accountability, if we were able to hold people to account, when you hear things like, for example, okay, yesterday, Trump made a promise, okay, that he, within hours, was going to release a plan to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. You remember I covered that yesterday? I got very, very upset. Very, very. Oh, by the way, he has yet to do it. It was supposed to be released within hours. He said yesterday on Twitter, he's got like 100 million freaking followers on Twitter. He said within hours I'm going to release this grand plan to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. When I read this headline, people, I went berserk. I literally did, and I went nuts yesterday in my live stream. No mention whatsoever about making the United States the constitutional money capital of the world, the crypto capital of the world. Where's the accountability here? Maybe he got upset. I'd be willing to bet. I don't know. I don't follow Trump on Twitter. Maybe you do. Why did he punt? Why did he not release his plan yesterday? Did he get a lot of bad feedback from it? I want to know. Because let me tell you something. I wanted to hear. I was willing to give Trump credit here today. I was looking to find out what his grand plan is to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet instead of... I want a return to sound money. I think, as a matter of fact, 83% of you want that. I ran a poll yesterday. 83% of you want the United States to be the constitutional money capital of the planet, not the crypto capital of the planet. Who does this help? Do you know how thinly held cryptocurrency is? If you are like me and you are a crypto enthusiast, then no one's a bigger bull than me. Maybe you. I doubt it, though. Yeah, sure, it could potentially play out to be really good news for those of us, but it's a fraction of the population here. We need a return to constitutional money. Anyway, I'm still waiting for Trump's plan, and I want to hear it. Personally, and I said this yesterday, I would be running for the hills, just like I told all of you. I said, do not get involved in DJT Trump Media Company stock. When he told you, people out here, to buy at $40 bucks, it's been cut in half. People got decimated. And I covered this yesterday or the day before. One of you wrote to me and said, hey, Greg, what should I do? I lost half my investment. I didn't tell you what to do, but I told you what I think the valuation is. It's not hard, really, to figure out what the valuation is of a company. It's a specific formula. You can look it up on Google or wherever you want. It'll tell you how to figure it out. The valuation of this company is about $9. And so if you already lost half your investment on Trump's recommendation to buy the stock, I think you're in for a very, very rude awakening. But that's just my take on it. Anyway, look, without beating this to death, I am waiting for this. Yesterday was supposed to be announced. It didn't happen. I'd be willing to bet he got a lot of feedback that he didn't like. Maybe that's why he punted on it. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's going to be a con job. Just like DJT media company stock. It's unbelievable. But that's we called this, you and me, before it happened. Said to stay away from this stuff. And many of you, unfortunately, didn't listen and you got hurt. I hate when people get hurt because it's so unfortunate. It doesn't need to happen. It's too easy. The situation is too simple to figure out across the board here, people. We're not going to change a damn thing with regard to what we're doing. Inflation continues to rise. People are being forced to spend more. Let me tell you something, people, one more time, how much Greg Mannarino despises this. They're trying to sell this to you as if it's a good thing. Consumer spending is solid. Consumers have no choice but to spend, because inflation continues to rise. And who's responsible for it? Is it Biden? Is it Trump, who outspent Obama and Biden combined? No, it's not Trump's fault either. Monetary policy is responsible for inflation here. And central banks are doing this around the world. But you must be lied to. You must be distracted. Trump's got to tell you it's Biden's fault. Biden's got to tell you it's Trump's fault, or Kamala now. Because you can't be told the truth. I wonder why that is, man. I really do. I really wonder why that is. Anyway, people, look, let me just say this again. This is a warning. This is a warning to all of you. If we are forced to participate in this debt-based central bank nightmare system, we lose. Doesn't matter who sits behind the Resolute desk, who is selected, or any other place in the world. Without a return to constitutional money, a wealth-based system, we will continue to be sold the lie of trickle-down economics. Small businesses, which used to be the backbone of this nation, are gone. Mom and pop shops gone in favor of the corporate agenda. This is not the United States of America anymore. This is the United States of corporate agenda. It's a corporate state controlled by the government, and the government is the Federal Reserve. Once you understand that, things will become a lot clearer to you. Until that point, you're going to be lost. But again, what does that do for you and me? We're not going to deviate from a damn thing we're doing. We realize what constitutional money is. We're betting against the system just like central banks are doing. As I said recently, and maybe even in this video, I can't remember, but we haven't seen action like this. Central banks right now are hoarding gold. They've been hoarding gold for years, but right now we just hit a 5-year high. They're betting against the system that they're forcing us to participate in. Think about that. Think about that. And you could sit back and say, I know why I am holding silver. Thanks, Brian. Gold. I think you need to be in cryptocurrency as well. You know that. But we don't need to be the crypto capital of the planet. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, and the joke is on Trump. It's not on you or me. We know what we need. We need constitutional money. Until something like that comes out of his mouth, I'm going to consider this the biggest con job probably that he's sold as of late. On top of, let's see, the failure of Trump Airlines, the failure of Trump casinos, the failure of Trump steaks, the failure of Trump ties, the failure of Trump's travel company, the failure of his media company. We can go on and on here. Whatever, man. All right, look, you guys and girls, I love all of you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. So, we'll talk more later. I want to hear from you. Get something out of this video. Do you realize what's going on here? Do you understand, really, that without a return to constitutional money, we're nothing but slaves? We're nothing but a means to an end here. They're greasing the wheels of the machine with our blood and guts, sucking us dry, being forced to spend more than they're telling us this is a good thing here. Inflation continues to rise by their own numbers, and that number's completely fake. You know it is. It's not going to stop. Central banks are flooding the world with more of their own currency right now as the economy is contracting around the world. It's an amazing situation to see. We're being promised lower rates here. That means the Fed is going to give itself, it's being given a green light by Kamala, by Trump, to get into the market and buy more, to create more currency out of nothing, get into the market and buy debt, because that's how they do it. It's been going on right now. We don't need no announcement by the Federal Reserve. We know what they're doing already. They're in here. Look at that. Are you not paying attention to what's going on here? Are you seeing but you're not looking? Are you looking but you're not seeing? Are you hearing but not listening? What is it? That's it, people. I'm done for today. By the way, my eye is somewhat better today. I still have some discomfort here. Did have a secondary laser treatment on my retina. It's not any fun. I promise you that. All right, look, I'll see you all later. All right, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for my live stream. People, until we meet again, please think about these things that I'm saying here. And, of course, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. See you later.